Been keeping our eyes on teams that aren't PKD this week, but I'm very curious to see how Bunga Bunga plays out.
Now, I got to tell you right now, PKD has a very unique strat on bridge. We haven't seen this yet from any other team, but they put a Rhino in that like little corner behind the EV, and I feel okay, just based on how I know SICK6 is very aggressive, right? Sometimes to the point where they will just go for it rather than thinking like, can I beat a Rhino? I think that if things work out in their favor, I think there's going to be some massive Rhino kills coming out. If
you have
they
to ask,
to
can I beat a Rhino? The answer is no.
All right. But we did see SICK6 do this on the first spawn versus ZFZ. I don't know, that Rhino play needs to be spectacular if it's going to put a halt towards the crazy aggression that SICK6 can put forward. I do believe that you are correct, and that it would be a great way of attempting to stop SICK6, but it's all to play for. It's going to be a very close match. I am almost sure of it.
Yeah, I think we're in for a treat. And also, something interesting to note is Bunga's position on this map, if they end up running the Rhino, is actually really, really great. He kind of sits back in the spawn alleyway, and he can throw grenades up in bridge, he can throw grenades up in the middle, and usually...
Yes, there is.
Nope, there is. So he switched the Rhino. So we're going to see Outsider on Rhino. All right, yeah, this is exactly how they've been playing it this week. And
Rhino can activate.
I feel like this is going to be a really, really strong play against SICK6, but we'll see how it goes.
As long as Outsider can get inside that cubby, he's going to have a pretty good position. We've already got the Aura down, and this is going to be a unique combination of Aura and Rhino, keeping that healing station on him in a pretty good spot to keep it safe from explosives. But here comes for the first push.
Here I'm warming up the vacuum cleaner.
Still go for that chip damage at long range. Might not do much, but it still does something.
He doesn't
care.
He's got
See, like I told you, this positioning from Bunga is so freaking trolly. Oh my gosh. Didn't even know he was there. He just popped out and got like a triple or a quad. I don't even know what that was, but wow. Just disgusting.
The nice thing about Aura being used here is that the Aura doesn't necessarily need to keep an eye on Rhino. Once that station is down, he's pretty much set it and forget it.
The one benefit of having the Rhino there is he pretty much forces everyone out on the street, and so now that they know Bunga's there, they might be more prepared this time. But yeah, I mean, you have to have some really, really well-coordinated attacks on this Rhino here, just because he's got that healing station in such a hard-to-destroy location.
He just aids a grenade face first. Just shook it off like it wasn't even there. He's going to get the first kill onto Noob. Noob doesn't manage to get revived. Seen another kill out. And
what is Olba thinking? Olba thinks he's going to beat a Rhino on a heal station? Come on now. See, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see... Alright, so we got Noob switching to Nader. So now they're realizing that Rhino is an incredibly strong Merc to play against, especially on that healing station. And
but
it's
Noob
such
is an
a close angle.
incredibly strong Nader as well. This could work out well depending on the angle. But...
yeah.
The important thing to note here is that Outsider is going to be one guy holding down a cubby that usually takes like 2 or 3 guys to really cover. That means that there's much more attention from PKD across the street in the office.
Now, interestingly, we just saw Noob waste most of his grenades. He has got a few left, which he is firing over towards that Rhino. Seems to miss every single one of them, unfortunately. And, yeah, this Nader player is going to have to be put on hold for another few seconds until he can recharge some more grenades.
Now, in my opinion, what the best way to counter this is obviously you have Bunga Bunga to worry about at mid. So what you kind of need to do is you have to have the nader spam from the tunnel, and then you have your fragger loop around through mid and nade through, and that's like the only way you can effectively kill the Rhino. Trying to go in one at a time, even if you get like some chip damage, you know, you got to destroy this heal station. And I'm not sure how they came up with this heal station position, but I never see it get destroyed, even by naders. So it must be like some sort of angle where it's just impossible to kill or something.
I don't know, sometimes those stations get destroyed by just seeming magic, like from a grenade across the map. So yeah, it's really weird that it's that permanent there.
And wow, SICK6 is just not sure what to do right now. And it's that thing, you know, when you have a new Merc released into the meta, it throws people for a loop. They're not entirely sure how to deal with it.
I think like pushing through the office is the big deal. We got Noob trying to go for some back rage here. Bunga Bunga's going to be there. And we got nades on nades, and it's going to be Bunga Bunga winning that up. Not even an opportunity for martyrdom.
And Olba, they finally get the heal station down. Olba takes out Outsider, but we still have PKD dominance on the objective, so... You know, SICK6 inching their way there. I think at this point they're focused on trying to kill that heal station, and they know they can maybe beat that Rhino out.
Well, that said, it is a complete reset this time, so basically they did a really good push. They've seen what can work, they've seen how to get rid of the healing station, but for the time being at least, they may as well be starting again because everything's back up to its original positions and they've got it all to fight for again.
Yep, that minigun just spinning up once more.
And Olba just doesn't want to stay down, but Tom's finally going to get it. Oh no, Olba's back up and taking down Bunga Bunga, in fact. But by this time, Outsider's able to get back in position. But now that they've been able to take over that office, this is going to be a big push. And Outsider's position is going to be a little bit constrained here.
8 seconds left, 2 defenders left. But there's still a healing station and the Rhino. What's going to come out on top? It looks like the Rhino is going to go down. He's taken down finally. The repair is started. We're going to see PKD start coming back in to try and reset the defense, but it's looking like it may be a little bit too late. This EV is most certainly going to be restarted, and we're seeing PKD fall back now, getting ready to start the repair on the barricades as soon as that's ready. And we see SICK6 take the first objective in around 5 minutes, which is still a reasonable time for Bridge.
Yeah, and it looked like what paid off for them there is they decided, you know, we're just going to ignore the Rhino to the very end. They went around the back, killed everyone except for the Rhino, then they all closed in on the Rhino together and wiped him right out, so. Looks like the barricade's going to be coming up. They don't actually have an engineer, but I think Linkser's been chipping away at this for a while. Should be getting it up very shortly.
Yeah, it doesn't really have many other places to be right now. We got Bunga Bunga in front of them, we got the detection aid out. So they're going to be stuck kind of behind the EVI for the moment.
There we go, the barricade does come up.
Nude's been saving up those grenades. He's got a nice little angle over the top of the phone box, which keeps him out of vision while he manages to put as much damage on as he can. And with a little bit of luck, this should only take about another 20 to 30 seconds to take down with gunfire and grenades together. So
SICK6 looking really, really good right now. They're building this momentum right off. Yeah, they should just start shooting it. I think that maybe Adetta wasn't on the same page as them. Maybe it's just the backup. But yeah, if they just all focus fire it right now, it's gonna be dead very shortly.
Adetta is still up there though, and is he going to be able to take down Bunga Bunga single-handedly? Not quite. It's going to be Noob coming in for the assist. But be that as it may, oh no, we got Outsider actually coming in, finally switching away from that Rhino, and they're able to take out the C4 on the generator, keeping that barrier just a little bit long.
But if you actually look at the model on the generator right now, it's showing the damaged skin, which means that there's probably only about a quarter of its health left, which means a few more grenades, a few more bullets, and we are going to see this drop very, very soon.
You can see some attempted bullets, but here comes the nades.
And there,
there it goes, yep. Time is going to have this EV right back up.
And there it goes over the barrier.
Oh, some nice flanking here by Bunga and Linkser, but
Noob's going to be the last one there. Nobody's seeing him. Gonna be able to push this up.
Just that 2-man speed on it is just making it that much quicker getting through this tunnel.
And this time on the respawn is kind of nasty here. This is going to be very difficult for them to get into position and get an airstrike on it. It's going to be Outsider switching over to
Olba should have stayed with it. He could have got it at least another 20 feet further forward by the time he would have been killed. Instead,
he just wanted to make me wrong.
Yeah, Olba was looking for a spawn nade there, just didn't connect with anyone.
And Outsider's going to be dead and gived here. So no airstrike at the moment.
Okay, if we see these 3 SICK6 members stay around this EV, we could see it get there very, very quickly indeed.
There we go. There's a clutch nade from, I think, who's that on? Linkser gets a clutch nade over there. Disables the EV, but that NG is still there. Still chipping away.
Time is going to be pulled on down. Olba's going to be up top, but it's going to be Tom and Outsider coming back in for the revive, holding down the back end of the EV.
This is surprisingly not one of the worst places to stop the EV. Because SICK6 need to push out to this awkward position to get this repair on, and they've got like 3 or 4 different directions where they can be shot down on by SICK6. So, by what am I talking about? By PKD. So it's by no means the best place to have it. That said, Bunga Bunga hasn't spotted the Reaper.
Yeah, Miska has actually just been chipping away at that with his little pliers there. PKD just holding a dominant position on the bridge, but they're slowly getting this thing repaired. I think right now what SICK6 needs to do is they need to clear the balcony, get control, push them all the way back, catch them on a long spawn, and get this thing repaired, and they'll get an easy park that way.
I think
he's going to be on street level. He's looking for a nade coming through there. He's able to do a little bit of damage, but not too much. Time is actually able to take his head off. That's huge.
I think one of the funny side effects of actually having a medic doing the repair on the EV is sometimes it can be repairing so slowly that people don't notice it being repaired. And I think that was a prime example of why Mixer managed to just keep chipping away at it so long.
Yeah, there we go. They got basically a full spawn wipes, but I mean, obviously PKD needed that so they can get set up right away. But Taimu catching one of the missiles.
Oh no!
Not sure if he realized that will actually kill you.
Oh, it's gonna be a big game.
Didn't give him though.
Doesn't manage to connect.
All right, so Vasily in this attacking position, I'm always curious to see, can he actually get many shots off this? It's really tight angled. It's a really difficult position to play in. But there's Bunga Bunga taken on down. Not quite Gibbs, but I'm sure the SMG was able to take care of him.
6-6 is actually pouring in the room, and I think it was all thanks to Adeto's flank there. Pulled all of PKD off guard.
Olba's going to be the only one left alive for the spawn, though. That's a little bit of a reset, allowing PKD one moment to breathe.
Yeah, so PKD has got to take this time, figure out who's playing what, and cover all these positions here. This is also one of the objectives. I'm surprised we haven't seen a lot of Rhinos played on this particular objective as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have more angles to worry about there. I mean, you could be struck from the back from... I mean, it's hard to cover your entire FOV.
Yeah, I think it might just be the fact that you can't really move very quickly. So if they do grab it, Rhino is not going to win beat anybody in a foot race at all. So.
And compared to the first objective, you're less likely to be aware of somebody attacking you from behind.
Wow, point blank headshot snipe there from Taimu onto Bunga.
Alright, cool, he's proving himself there. Alright, we got to pick up. Taimu's going to be knocked on down though. Dragios getting the nice wiffle bat stomp.
Adeto's grabbing the objective. He's running it out. Now he's going to run into Linkser. No, Linkser doesn't even know he's right behind him.
Neither does Outsider.
No, that's Outsider. Thought it was Linkser, but it was Outsider.
Here's delivery on the hard side, and he's going to be taken on down. But we got Taimu and Mixa coming in to mix it up. Tom's going to be able to take him down, but he's still got one to take care of. Oh, and his head just knocked right off by Taimu.
Taimu with the first headshot.
He's going to be the last one there. Who's left alive? This is bodies everywhere. Olba can potentially run back and get this, but he doesn't need to.
There was just like a bunch of trade killing there, medics reviving and whatnot, but it looks like they're going to get an easy transmit here. Olba decided, I'm just going to plug them off at their spawn, and it worked out beautifully. Actually, watching PKD get way too overextended. Why? Why? That is the question. Why did they get overextend so far? Now they're just basically giving them the second one for free.
Yeah, they got nothing on that.
That was so unnecessary by PKD. I'm not sure what they were thinking in that moment.
So what we do see there is, after the first half of the first map, the hold on the first objective was fairly substantial. It was a decent hold by PKD. The hold on the second objective was kind of around where we were expecting to see it now, with the destruction on the barricade rather than the C4 plants. And the final objective was also fairly average, to be honest. So it's still all to play for, but we are going to need to see. 6-6 managed to hold out a decent defense on this first objective, and we all know that PKD is so good at pushing in onto this EV right at the start. So I for one think that maybe PKD will be able to peak them on this time, but maybe be a little bit slower on the walking the EV, just from experience of watching them play. And I'm wondering, there's going to be no Rhino on 6-6. Like, what can they do which is out of the norm, which may surprise PKD here?
That's a good question. Honestly, I was kind of expecting the Rhino play to last a lot longer than it did. So, I mean, big props to 6-6 for finding a way to effectively counter that. But, yeah, I'm not really sure what to expect at this point. 6-6 has been playing, like, phenomenally today in this tournament. And Olba single-handedly been showing up every fragger in the game so far.
Alright, well, we got Linkser as our point bushwhacker on the PKD side. Now looking at the left tunnel just a little bit, he's got Sabonis near him, but he's looking for the call from the rest of his team before pushing in.
Noob's actually placed his turret down in a place that we don't normally see. It's kind of like he's put it in the healing station cool spot, right?
Yeah.
So it's not going to get the early picks, but it might clean up anybody that gets close. I mean, right now this is not doing anything, but he does manage to get one kill. Gets the second. Oh no, Timer gets second. But
Olba threw a great nade there. He's playing this similar position to Bunga. Somehow got the nade around the corner, killed Dracius, and took Bunga down to like 1 HP. So, or actually, no, I think he killed them both instantaneously. So, really solid work there.
Noob's going to be doing the annoying. I'm going to put my turret and move it after every single spawn, so you have no idea where it is. Kind of strategy.
Yeah, that already worked on Linkster already, because coming around that corner the first time, he juked off to the right, expecting the turret to be there. Either way, it's just not a good, not a good place to be.
Bunga's making a big play with his medic over on the backside.
This push is so clockwork right now. That was amazing to watch, just like a synchronized swimming team.
Medic play still up, and there we go. The wipe, 10 seconds.
Tom finishing off. Tom finishing off a Dedo with a cricket bat for good measure there. Just whacked him right in the face.
Right now, we could actually see PKD take the second objective. Well, I say the second objective, the side objective, before SICK6 even get there.
Yeah,
this
I mean, they
not good.
SICK6 got caught on such a terrible spawn wave there.
And they've already pushed on to the bridge a little bit. It's going to be the last one to fall down.
For a while.
It would probably be in SICK6's favor to just have Mizka rush the EV. There's just Linkster moving the EV. If they just go contest the EV rather than trying to retake the room right now, they would force them out of the room.
Be that as it may, they're winning a lot of the fights leading up to the generator. Finally going to get knocked out of there a little bit, but how much time they won just by being there. Bunga's actually still in there. Taimu's coming across the bridge. He might be eating something nasty. He's actually able to get a few good shots in. So finally they were able to get this constructed.
PKD just never failed to impress. Like, as soon as you feel like, oh, this is going to be quite difficult, blah, 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 they'll just come out with, like, a clockwork attack. Nothing special, nothing, like, unique quite often when it comes to the attacker play, but...
Wow, okay, this is a huge mistake. Noob was up on the field the entire time, but he was making Taimu try and repair. Okay, if he can get this repaired right now, he's got to do it now. What are you doing? Repair! That generator's not up yet. It's got to be like at least 99%. Wow. Huge
and now
mistake.
He's on a long spot.
Huge mistake.
Now we got Linkster pushing it forward. They're going to have a tough time getting in and getting it finished, especially with Dracius and Outsider in the room itself. It's going to be just enough flesh to keep them off of that generator. And it's going to roll right over the barrier without it ever getting constructed.
Yeah, and that was just a completely unnecessary mistake by SICK6 there. Noob was on the field the whole time, but he was a little too focused on trying to get kills rather than building that generator.
We're not even at the time when SICK6 was able to get the repair on the EV.
Yeah,
it's
PKD
looking very good
just
for PKD.
looking, yeah, the momentum from PKD right now is just insane. Clean wipe as well, so this thing might just go park itself.
They've got that free movement speed on it now. Look how fast it rolls.
Yeah, we got
it's going to be there in no time.
Taimu on the Skyhammer, but where are they going to come from? It's almost too late for this to do anything. I hear it, but it's not enough damage. Nowhere near it.
It turns so fast it may have skid marks.
Olba better not catch a long spawn here. Okay, he's lucked out there.
Alright, so at least they're all inside on the objective now. Not going to be caught with their pants down completely. But they're already moving in and starting to tighten up this noose.
Looking for Linkster to get a pick so they can open up this push. There goes one.
Yep.
Olba down. Oh, Outsider, you need to be watching your flank, buddy.
Alright, but Mix is going to get pulled on down, and they've still got plenty of medics. No Gibbs from SICK6 there.
Versus PKD, it doesn't matter if you get caught with your pants down. They'll just pull your pants down. That's exactly what just happened right now. Dracius is just casually transmitting, just casually
here's Olba trying to make it happen. Olba can maybe just... No, it goes in just at the last second. Olba kicking himself in the shins here a little bit as Tom's going to be the last one in there. Actually, Outsider's still there as well. Playing from the back.
This is outstanding.
If Olba dies, Outsider's just going to take it right to the objective.
And there we go.
Oh no.
I don't think there's enough time for them to actually get there to stop it no more. This is most likely going to be a good game.
Well,
fastest
PKD.
Bridge plays I've ever seen.
What just happened?
That was an amazing time set on the map, which is very difficult. Just over 5 minutes. I don't think it's the fastest map we've seen in Dirty Cup, the fastest bridge attack in Dirty Cups, but it's surely one of the fastest. That is outrageously fast, especially when you're considering going up against a team like SICK6. Don't get me wrong, this was PKD's map choice. They knew that they had this in the bag, right? I was a little bit kind of unsure when we saw how well SICK6 played versus ZFZ on this map, but PKD just showing that on the attack, it's not about anything necessarily fancy, just pure consistency and reliability when pushing forward, when you're pushing that EE or when you're going to go for the repairs or basically any of the objectives. PKD really showing a masterclass of how to do bridge that time around. Wow,
I have
I'm
to
impressed.
say, PKD's coordination on attack is just phenomenal. Like in that first wave, I was expecting him to get held on that first objective for a lot longer, and then we just saw 3 guys jump down bridge. They close up every gap, and then you have the medic fragger combo pushing up, and they just seal everything off. Everything's so timed, so precise, just really working great for them. So I definitely think after they had that loss last week, and really not even a very close loss at that, to ZFZ, I think they really put the time in necessary to figure out what they did wrong and make up for it. So just excellent performance so far.
So this is match point for SICK6 here. They've got to do something amazing on Chapel by the look of it.
So interesting that SICK6 chooses Chapel, which it's questionable whether I feel that this is a map choice that SICK6 would be most favorable on. I don't know. It's really tricky. I almost feel like SICK6 might do better on Train Yard, maybe?
Well, let's be honest, right? We've seen quite a lot of Demon, who are now SICK6, on Chapel, and we've seen them make an awful lot of mistakes on Chapel. They always seem to give away that final objective by being far too aggressive on the defense, right? So I think for that reason alone, their pushes with the EV are fine. But that last bit of defense that they always seem to mess up would make me think that this is not the best map choice for them, especially when PKD are known for being able to push so well on Chapel. And I would not be surprised to see a Lynxer Akira with an orbital laser on Chapel as well. So I don't know. I think it's a bit of a baffling choice. I think maybe Underground would have been a better choice, where Demon have consistently kind of pushed PKD to their limits. But I don't know. Chapel. Yeah,
it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing a Kira. Oh, I lied. Lynxer is relogging to put Kira into his loadout, probably replacing the Nader.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what we saw previously was we watched SICK6 get absolutely rolled by ZFZ in the last cup, simply because they couldn't land a single airstrike to save their lives, and they really just couldn't respond in general to setting up properly and being able to defend. But yeah, we've seen PKD play against SICK6 on this particular map time and time again, and it's always the over-aggression on that last objective that kind of costs SICK6 the map. So based on what I've seen so far, I think that they realize that, and they'll probably have something a little bit different up their sleeves, but I don't know. I was expecting something a little bit different.
Well, it almost feels like SICK6, and I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, are a little bit behind the times. I mean, if we just look at the mercs that they've brought into the match, there's nothing really out of the ordinary here at all. I mean, you've got your sniper, you've got your skyhammer, you've got your medics, you've got your fragger, and you've got your naders. That's basically it. There's nothing else. And sure, it may seem almost the same for PKD, but then you see the medics have got auras out. We've had rhinos. We're going to have a Kira at some point. We've seen naders played consistently throughout the whole map. It feels like Demon have just, well, I keep saying Demon, SICK6 have just perfected this, the core meta, right? But it doesn't feel like they're pushing it forward. And I feel like this is going to bite them in the ass, especially when Whitechapel has really been turned on its head since the introduction of Kira.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just strange picks.
Yeah, and I think I don't know what it is. I think a lot of teams have been a little bit reluctant to try new mercs in their mix, simply because, you know, you kind of stick with what works and you keep going with it. I think especially these guys being from ET, they're picking classes I feel are maybe a little bit more familiar to them. They like having those medics, they like having the fragger. They don't really change it up too much. But I think that's just, you need to be able to play, test things out, and you know, with these things happening every week, sometimes you just don't want to risk it unless you're really, really sure it's going to work.
So, it looks like we have got Lynxer in. He didn't switch to Akira.
Interesting.
That's what I was waiting for.
Oh wait, it's just connected to the server, so maybe he's still in the thing about to change his mix. Maybe that's what he's about to do. If he doesn't take Akira, I will be amazed. He's not going to take Akira. What? No. What?
Sounds so disappointed.
I'm more than. I'm
I mean, they
have
have outsider to fill that nader role.
I'm going to write a letter of complaint to Planet Key Dynamics. You've spoiled my dreams, son. I was looking forward to some crazy nader plays. We've seen you make it work in the past. Like, where is it? Where is it, Linkser?
Well, maybe they're anticipating that SICK6 is known, like you said, for pushing way too far forward on a lot of these defensive objectives, especially the last one. That might mitigate Kira's use there. I don't know. I'm making excuses for them right now.
Well, I mean, nader, similar effect, you know, she can push people back. So, I mean, we'll just see how it goes.
So it looks like we're going to have a fairly default setup. We've got... again, Bunga pushing up towards that left-hand side, doesn't make the grenade work, gets taken out by Alba. Alba takes himself out. Alba gets kill on the medics and everything, that was a complete wipe by SICK6.
I don't even know what happened there on PKD's attack. It was just, it looked like there was like a lot of team damage on the left as well. I didn't even see the engineer start building. It was a little sloppy there.
And now we got Noob putting pressure on the spawn with grenade. But we got Bunga and Dracius finally teaming up together on that right-hand side, looking to take over the bridge, but it's not going to be easy, especially with this area now open over to the other side. Dracius is going to be able to keep Bunga up and healthy.
Again, like better recovery there.
Alright, there's Linkser on Bushwhacker. Eevee's going to start moving here.
That bouncing grenade, oh, and he gets Mixer with it. Bunga playing out all the trick shots right now. And it looks like only Taimu left, and this EV is definitely going to reach the corner for SICK6 are going to be able to put up another defend.
Yeah, we got Bunga up in the red room. Let's see if they can do something amazing here.
The fact that they're taking the red house this early is such a good sign for them.
Yeah, really, that's what they want to do. When you have that clear and they're on a long spawn, you want to establish as far forward as an offense as you possibly can. The only one sitting back here should be pretty much a Linkser. He's got outsider kind of watching his back.
Especially because anybody that they invite to have a fight here is just going to get clotted up. Even if they end up taking the fight, there's just so much time you lose in there.
Linkser got picked, and outsider decided to try and push him forward towards the detour. Well, really, I reckon he should have fell back and actually pushed that EV a little bit further forward.
Yeah, I was about to say something about that, but fortunately they got a pretty short spawn, so it was a minimal mistake. But yeah, I would have agreed.
And now that EV's moved past one of the critical corners without any stop, without any airstrike. Now we have Taimu and Noob on the airstrike. We should see this thing go down here at least.
This is
oh no, it got rolled over. It got rolled over. There's no airstrike at all.
But landing a big double nade there, finishing it off with a M4 kill at the end as well.
Taimu with a double kill.
They did win. They lost the battle, but they won the war. They got the forward spawn moved up at least, so things are looking really good for PKD.
We're seeing these medics getting picked up because they were both put on very long spawns.
And this is going to be an easy repair position for Linkser, having it push back that courtyard.
This is really kind of strange to watch because, like, I'm trying to keep it up with all the action, and sure, there's an awful lot of kills and everything going around, but I suppose, like, the core story right now is PKD are just pushing that thing quite
but we just
easily.
saw a great airstrike, finally, a really effective one. At a pretty good spot for them as well.
Yeah, we haven't really seen PKD get held up in one position quite yet.
Yeah.
They're having a pretty consistent push on this thing so far. Right now, I think, is the time where things could go slightly south, but so far they got a double kill
jumps
there.
Up to the balcony.
We're just waiting for Linkser, who's making his way in now. He's going to get this repair on. And I'm guessing he's going to be able to do it fairly uncontested. Unless this grenade comes down, Oliver is shooting at him from up above.
Yeah, actually, we saw Dracius Bungo and Dracius were trying to push the garage, and Dracius made the mistake that every medic does. He ran right in front of Bungo for some reason, and just got blasted in the face by his teammate.
I do that a lot. I get myself killed.
Yeah.
It's still healthy, though. Should be seeing some airstrikes come onto it pretty soon. Dracius and Bunga coming from the side alley.
The EV is currently down, so no airstrikes just yet. We're going to wait until Linkser gets that tiny little pick of repair onto the EV and gets it fully moving again. And it looks like this is going to be the move that they've been waiting for. Linkser jumps in, gets the repair on, gets taken out by Olber. Maybe Olber was a little bit premature on that grenade because it did prevent the repair from coming up.
Well, we do have Bunga and Dracis. We're able to clear garage and push it forward, so he's just waiting for that repair.
Who got that airstrike? Did Taimu throw it at the last second? He must have.
I believe that was Taimu. Tossed it in right at the last second, but it doesn't matter. I think they're going to get this thing parked. Yeah. Just because of the fact that he threw the airstrike. I think he could have maybe just saved it to delay the next push.
SICK6 needs to back off. This is a prime example. Oh, wait, another airstrike. Cancels it out just at the last second. They are cycling them airstrikes like bouses.
They actually have 3 Skyhammers on the field right now.
They're still alive, though, and Linkser getting revived once again. We've got Mixa trying to come back in and take him down. And this should be a pretty clean repair. Now, here they come.
Okay, they could possibly overwhelm Linkser here and actually disable it at a really good spot. I don't know if they used it all. What are they doing? It's just Linkser! Oh no, that's a little indecision there from SICK6. Didn't realize it was only Linkser on the objective.
But at the same time, I think that they would have been risking the bad spawn web that I feel like they probably understand that they keep getting and they need to try and avoid. We've got Taimu going on sniper, but again, look at these positions. They are still fairly aggressive defensive positions.
Yeah, at least they're spreading it out a little bit, but wow, here comes the full force of PKD. Taimu gets a headshot though, wow. I'm surprised they even came out on top of there.
I was about to disparage Taimu for being down on the street, but he's just picking up the shots.
Kill after kill after kill. All headshots as well, so Taimu just making what looked like a bad situation just go completely 180.
But look at this defensive positioning. I don't like it. I say every single time that we see SICK6 play in this area, and every single time we're proven right with very short hold times on this final objective, and I'm guessing that this is going to be no different right now.
Well, looks like they're kind of spreading out a little bit better now.
Behind the left-hand bus. We don't have the bridge down just yet. We've actually got Outsider just doing a lot of damage. Noob is going to be the only one left alive there. But here comes Tom to try to polish him up, but it's not going to happen. Noob just VIPing it at the moment.
Oh man, we got Olba climbed all the way to the top of that container there, just jumped right down on Lynx's head. I don't think you could have seen him with that FOV of his.
SICK6, we've got 10 seconds now just to chill out, get some health, get some ammo, and prepare for the next wave.
Yeah, he probably could have delayed that return slightly just to buy himself a little bit more time.
It's a pet hate every time I see it in a cup.
Oh, with a grenade.
And the Gibbs came out as well.
Just a celebratory Gibbs, yeah.
Gets himself a 4th as well. Bunga's
all the time.
He's just chilling over here on top of these little pipes.
So I'm guessing every time that they get really aggressive on this defense, SICK6, this is what they're hoping to do, right? Every single time. This is what they are hoping for, and they're finally making it work.
Taimu actually got a pick as Outsider was jumping out of the spawn through the grate. Headshot on Outsider.
Oh, and on Linkser as well now. This is another wipe. Anybody that dies now is going to get long spawn. Bunga, is he long spawn or is he short?
It's going to be pretty long there. Alright, Tom has the objective, but down below he lost all of his backup, so he's just chilling for the moment. Trying to stay hidden. He hasn't dropped it yet, so it doesn't look like anybody on SICK6 really knows where he's at. But there's the drop.
Now, man, it's times like this where, as much as I hate when people try and just solo ninja the objective, it's at times when everyone's so focused, Tom could actually have done the jump and gotten behind because, you know, people get so focused on all the putting out damage on all the guys in front of their face that you can sometimes, if you see the opportunity, do the jump and sneak transmit, but...
Especially with how important medic trains are here.
Okay, so this is the initial attack now. They should be able to at least transmit one off this. That said, they did let Adeto get into a decent position. Are we going to see any miracle nades come down? Are we going to see a massive
Outsider needs to dodge around. I was going to get it anyway. I thought maybe Taimu was going to hop up there.
Outsider saved that as well. He came in at the last second to kind of clear out the rock and get that first delivery. Dracis is still there. Outsider's picked back up. We have the rock held by 3-4 guys on PKD. We just need Linkser to grab the objective and get it.
Is there an Outsider airstrike ready?
Would be nice.
Doesn't look like it. Oh, he's trying to switch weapons. It looks like he's waiting for it. There it is. It's coming out now.
Oh, this is going to be a big airstrike. Oh, maybe not. Just took a little too long.
They're able to take down Mixa at least.
it slowed them down and made them move.
And Bunga's in a bad position now.
The objective is being transmitted by Outsider, and he doesn't move around, and he gets himself sniped. Outsider, you need to be moving, sonny boy. You need to be moving left and right. Shake what your mama gave you and fucking do it.
Well, shaking or no shaking, he still got it in.
Finally, son. He managed it, and that's a fairly decent time. You can see a fairly equal split across all objective times, and that attack, it just felt solid from PKD. It wasn't an amazing time, don't get me wrong, but it just felt solid from start to finish. There's a few really decent holds by SICK6 on the final objective, sure, but once PKD had taken dominance in that area, they was able to hold it for like 4 or 5 spawn waves without any crazy one big kill from like an airstrike or something like that. So a very impressive performance. Obviously not an unbeatable time. I think SICK6 are still more than capable of being able to better this and taking it to a 3rd map. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. No special tactics came out this time.
It's going to be really critical around the red house because that was a completely uncontested area when SICK6 was on the defense.
And we actually saw Bunga come out on top finally with his fragger play. I think that if there's any map where Bunga gets those really good nade angles, it's Whitechapel. So that said, really decent time there set by SICK6. So
all right, Noob's still repairing. No real pressure on him so far. We got Olba pushing up.
They must have been watching the games previously. SICK6 not even attempting to contest that stairway balcony.
Ooh, we got Linkser getting not only the shot on Olba, but beheading Noob as well. Still got just a little bit left of that EV to repair. Holy
PKD
crap.
defense.
Jeez, that aggression. They're just going for a spawn camp now. What is happening?
They're straight up just pushing it.
Yeah,
airstrike's a little too
Bunga's
early,
got
I
this
think.
nade ready.
If he delayed that airstrike for another couple seconds, could have been brutal.
It's actually a good place for SICK6 to break out.
This is actually
heading outside of this.
I love this. They're basically taking over all the defensive positions to cover this. So now Noob's trying to repair it on the offender side.
On the front, yeah.
And this is exactly the strategy that you want on defense. You don't want to be sitting back, letting him get free repairs. You want to be as aggressive as you possibly can for this first portion. Delay it, delay it, delay it. And Outsider kind of wasted his airstrike earlier, so if he only saved that, he could have gotten an instant disable, but oh well.
Now, it may have seemed like a bit of a wasted attack when you see it get wiped up and cleaned up so easily afterwards, but let's bear in mind, they actually managed to hold off that repair longer than they did when it was on the foot, the shoe. So yeah, it was definitely worth it. I like to see as much aggression on this first objective on the defense as possible. And sure, SICK6 are going to make this reach the corner right now, but unlike previously,
Olba going on a rampage, 4 kills in the bag so far. It just wipes them all out.
Well, there's a spawn. I'm going to be keeping my eye on Outsider as our Skyhammer here. Hopefully his flying pigs can drop something nice. No, he's going to be taken down. Olba just had a beeline right on it.
We got Bunga and Dracis flanking around, but there's a turret there. Catch him right off guard. May have to fall back.
Not going to hurt the EV too much. We got Noob still crawling it forward. And just like the last game, we're not going to see any real opposition on the EV on this part of the street.
Yeah, SICK6 just getting free reign. Oh, this airstrike's going to miss. Why? What is with these? Links are getting double headshot, though. Unfortunately, the objective is still moving, so not really contributing too much there.
So
no, I think what we might see change is if PKD is able to disable this in a better position than SICK6, they could probably establish a much stronger hold. We'll see where they. I think they're going to wait to disable it in a spot where they feel works best for them. Man, so many revives going on right now. Linkser with 1 headshot.
I gotta hand it to Addict. He stayed alive in a really tricky situation there. He allowed the rest of his team to kind of catch up, and he was able to do a lot of good. Really walking this forward, but he still got Olba left alive.
Oh my
able
God.
to pistol down Linkser, and that means everybody's on the ground.
Olba! Oh God!
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
What's happening to his body right now? It's just like
what's happening to my
bouncing.
body?
Okay, there we go. Wow, that was insane. So PKD getting it disabled right at the last second there. And
this is one of the worst places to get the EV disabled.
They can't really use it as cover when you disable it a little bit further out. You can kind of use it as an extra wall, barricade, or what have you. But, man, that was clutch nade by Bunga there. Save them.
PKD was holding down the garage.
It was a little confusing. I just saw Olba getting ready to park it, and all of a sudden his body just spontaneously combusted.
I thought he was trying to catch the spawn, and he killed himself.
Oh, that would have been the worst play ever.
I didn't see the explosion myself.
So yeah, wow. So now SICK6 is in just a terrible position. They got to run into this giant meat grinder crossfire that PKD has set up here. And just like watching from free cam, you just see, you know, SICK6 trying to make a push and just bullets raining in from every direction. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and do the trick jump here.
You don't even have an angle where you can use the EV as cover anymore. That left side is completely covered out by the garage.
Yeah, and it looked like they were attempting to do a mass trick jump. They just couldn't hit the jump. And, you know, under pressure, you know, everything gets harder.
Alright, nice backstab by Noob, but he's going to be taken down by Tom. Maybe he shouldn't have killed Linkster. That kind of gave his hand away.
Taimu getting a nice pair of headshots there. It's going to give him a little bit of momentum, but no medics.
Got long spawn for his trouble.
Yeah, didn't really pay out very well. They're down a fragger. And PKD is right back up where they were previously, so...
They're going to go for the trick jump again. I think I'm going to have to show Noob my movement guide when this is all said and done.
Yeah.
I mean, the angles that they're looking at, I mean, unless Tom is taking a look there, they can easily get behind Linkster and going for a sneaky. Potentially, if they can get the jump. That's step one, of course.
Yeah, I really think they need to stop using this alleyway to try and push, because, you know, they can't get a good angle on the guys in garage, and they got to deal with Linkster lobbing nades at them. They really should be pushing from ammo, and maybe if they get like a good nade in the garage and get an insta-gib or a good snipe, they'll be able to gain some ground here, but... I don't know, right now they seem a little confused.
Largely nullify.
What is Taimu doing? He's like trying to go for the hardest snipe shot of all time, jumping up and down like that. What is he thinking? Come on.
He's putting together his demo reel.
All right.
Well, let's be honest now. Like the best trick jump into the back, because PKD aren't going to mess up on this crossfire. Not without having their hand forced. It either requires a near-perfect pick from Taimu, a near-perfect nade from Olba, or to go into a position where they're not expecting it. Looks like Noob's going to go for this jump again. He's failed it again. And at least he's got a nade this time. He's going to try and throw in some spam towards the...
Taimu's airstrike actually picks them both off, and when they were... It looked to me like they were inside, but I think they just caught the tail end of that explosion.
Well, that certainly has shaken up the Hornet's Nest a bit. We've got a few bodies on the floor. It's going to be Linkster, one of the last people standing, in order to keep it live long enough just to let the rest of his team spawn up and move that line back forward. And we
just as it looked like PKD was all but wiped, they just managed to get another foothold out of nowhere, and basically now SICK6 are back where they were 2 minutes ago. With 2 minutes
they need to find a way to focus their fights in something that's much more controllable. Like maybe having a nader just to not to push garage, but just to keep garage at bay so they can push down the middle or something. What they've been doing so far just has not really been paying off. Even when they come out with kills, it's a full respawn for PKD and they retake it almost instantaneously.
Meanwhile, Linkster's just having a ball. So many easy shots, but Linkster's finally taken down. But yeah, Tom can just bring him back up.
Time is ticking away. Still no progress at gaining control of this objective.
Time is throwing an airstrike towards hitting Linkster, but his teammates run in there and he's going to get double team kill. Oh, that was either bad communication or his teammates just totally misunderstood where that airstrike was going to be landing in, but really did just destroy that attack, which was looking so promising for a second then.
And it looks like the good games are being called at this point.
I mean, it is still possible, but it's fairly unlikely right now. We've got 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. We're looking at around 50 seconds to the final objective, so if they don't do this in the next 5 and get the perfect push, then yeah, it's pretty much GG.
So PKD regaining their title as champions. They lost it once, and I think that deeply upset them. I know Linkster was listening to sad violin music for at least the entire week. He was so upset after that last cup.
Looks like they're finally going to be able to get it forward.
maybe right at the last second they decide, you know what, we're going to clear this objective. We're just saving it for the last few seconds.
Oba's in the position I wanted to see him at a lot earlier. There we have it.
They finally get it, just too little, too late.
Oh my god, they can't even... Okay, there we go.
Oh, and that's
still
it.
Dead.
It's still down. They inched it maybe a few pixels forward.
It's one of the things I love about these games, where progress on the EV isn't always progress. Getting it stuck in the bad position is just the worst thing.
Yeah.
They have very good games. Very excellent cup today. A lot of, I wouldn't necessarily call them upsets, but a lot of really fascinating games. It's going to be a really tight group of teams up in the top, what was it, 8 going forward next week?
Yeah. Well, it felt like we saw a lot of the, like, I hate to say it like this, but like the mid-tier teams pulling out lots of new strats. Like we saw Kira's, we saw Rhinos in strange positions. We saw a bit of everything, right? And it seems to be working really well. The top teams seem to be more focused on sticking with what works and what they know works. So I think this meta is slowly evolving. I'll be interested to see what happens next week in the final.
Especially with cash prices on the line now for